So in this recording, I'd like to go over one of the principles of the first week's lesson that we learned about, the primitive features, so color, contrast, angle, slope of lines, texture, and motion. I've found three examples that I'd like to go over and provide a quick walkthrough of each and their usage of this primitive feature. So you can see on this web page, the Museum of Fine Arts Boston, there is a feature where there is this kind of carousel of movement. You can see that these different kinds of exhibits and or parts of the website they want to direct people to, they control that by motion. So this is a fairly simple design on this website, and this is the first thing that catches users' attention because it's so prominent on the page and includes so much motion. I just thought it was a really interesting use of that primitive visual feature. A web page that's kind of, in my mind, not necessarily good and not necessarily bad, but kind of in between, is one of the websites for Communication Arts. Communication Arts is a publication that's popular with graphic artists and kind of in the design fields, and looks at prominent members of that design field. Usually they have like an award on several topics. Anyway, so this website is interesting because if you look at the kind of website based off of saccades, it does look like it's following kind of a large F pattern. Most of the stuff is over here, but there is still some materials over here. This large advertisement seems to be pretty distracting to me, but maybe the website really needs that to be an advertisement for subscription or different groups. There is a little bit of a confusing element for me on this website. I'm not quite sure what this segment of the website is doing, whether it's profiling this designer and whether that's also aligned with this image, or whether this line is supposed to let me know that these two pieces are together. Anyway, so this to me almost looks like another ad and kind of competes in my mind with this other ad that's going on there. Anyway, the less primitive visual feature stands out to me in terms of like motion, but in terms of contrast, definitely they've got that covered with just the black and the white, and that logo kind of taking prominence on the page, and this nice ad taking prominence in the rest of the page. One other website that I wanted to look at was this weightlifting website. There's a lot of things going on here that kind of compete for my attention as a user, and therefore I'm not quite sure what I need to be clicking on next. I've got this large ad here and the top banner, and then this is maybe the site tagline, but that, because of the prominence and the color, gets in the way of maybe some of this navigational menu up here. This also large ad kind of gets in the way of what I should be looking at on the website, I think, because I'm not quite sure where I should be going. This ad is prominent, so that's good. But again, the website's a little bit broken up by the ads that I see. Now that could just be me as a user, and maybe other users would experience this website differently. But the things that I'm seeing there look like they would get in the way of what you should be, how you should be interacting with this website. And those are my examples of one good, one kind of in between, and one that I think could be improved, or bad example. Thanks.